Imagine this, a thriving English settlement in the New World. Over 100 men, women, and children suddenly vanishes without a trace. No bodies, no signs of a struggle, just a single, cryptic word carved into a post. Croatoan? This isn't the plot of a horror movie. It's one of America's oldest and most chilling unsolved mysteries. This is the story of the lost colony of Roanoke. Our story begins in the late 16th century, a time of bold exploration and fierce imperial rivalry. Queen Elizabeth I of England, eager to challenge Spain's dominance in the Americas, grants her dashing courtier, Sir Walter Raleigh, a charter to establish a colony. His goal? To create a permanent English foothold, a base for privateering against Spanish treasure fleets, and a source of untold riches. The first attempts were rocky. The 1585 expedition ended in conflict with local indigenous tribes and a hasty retreat. But Raleigh was persistent. In 1587, he funded a new, more ambitious venture. This time, it wasn't just soldiers and adventurers. It was families. Led by Governor John White, an artist and cartographer, 117 colonists set sail for the Chesapeake Bay, a location chosen for its deep, protected harbor. But from the very beginning, things went wrong. The fleet's pilot, Simon Fernandez, stubbornly refused to sail north to the Chesapeake. Whether due to a looming storm season, a secret agenda, or simple incompetence, he forced the colonists ashore at their old abandoned settlement on Roanoke Island, a less-than-ideal location in the Outer Banks of modern-day North Carolina. Despite the setback, the colonists got to work. They repaired the old fort and houses, and tried to re-establish relations with the local tribes, though tensions simmered beneath the surface. Soon after their arrival, a historic event occurred. Governor White's daughter, Eleanor Dare, gave birth to a baby girl, Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the New World. It was a symbol of hope, a sign of a new beginning. But their supplies were dwindling dangerously low. The colonists realized they wouldn't survive the coming winter without a major resupply from England. They begged Governor White to return and plead their case. It was a heart-wrenching decision. He would have to leave his daughter, his newborn granddaughter, and the entire colony behind. Reluctantly, he agreed, promising to return as quickly as possible. Before he left, they agreed on a contingency plan. If the colonists had to move, they would carve their new location into a tree. If they were in danger, they would add a Maltese cross. White set sail for England, but his quick return turned into an agonizing 3-year ordeal. Upon his arrival, he found England in a state of emergency, preparing for war with the mighty Spanish Armada. Every available ship, sailor, and barrel of supplies was commandeered for the war effort. White's desperate attempts to secure a relief vessel were repeatedly thwarted. He was trapped an ocean away, while his colony and his family faced starvation. Finally, in August 1590, on his granddaughter Virginia's 3rd birthday, John White landed back on Roanoke Island. As his boat approached the shore, he saw smoke rising from the woods. Hope surged in his heart. He called out, his voice echoing across the water, but was met with an eerie silence. When he and his men went ashore, they found the settlement completely deserted. The houses had been dismantled, not burned or ransacked, but carefully taken down. All 117 people were gone. There were no skeletons, no graves, no signs of a battle. It was as if they had simply evaporated. Then, they found the clue. Carved into a large wooden post of the fort's palisade was that single, mysterious word, Croatoan. On another tree, they found the letters Crow. Crucially, there was no Maltese cross, the prearranged signal for distress. Croatoan was not a random word. It was the name of a nearby island, now called Hatteras Island, and the name of the friendly Algonquian-speaking tribe that inhabited it, led by their chief Montejo. Montejo had traveled to England years earlier and was a trusted ally. The message seemed clear. The colonists had moved to Croatoan Island. White was desperate to follow the trail, but as they prepared to sail south, a powerful hurricane, a foul and stormy tempest, blew in. The storm damaged their ships and broke their anchor cables. With his crew on the verge of mutiny and supplies running low, a heartbroken White was forced to abandon the search and sail back to England. He would never see his family or the colonists again. He died years later, the fate of his colony forever unknown. So, what happened? For over 400 years, historians and archaeologists have debated the possibilities. The leading theory is assimilation. The message Croatoan without the distress signal strongly suggests the colonists voluntarily relocated to be with their allies. The dismantled housing indicates a planned, orderly move, not a panicked flight. It's plausible that, facing starvation, they integrated with the Croatoan people. Later accounts from English explorers in the 17th century reported seeing indigenous people with gray eyes and knowledge of the English language, lending credence to this idea. Recent archaeological digs on Hatteras Island have uncovered 16th-century English pottery mixed with native artifacts, providing tantalizing physical evidence that some, if not all, of the colonists made it there. But there are other, darker theories. Another possibility is that the colonists were attacked. While their relationship with the Croatoan was friendly, their dealings with other more powerful mainland tribes, like the Secatan, were fraught with tension. Could a different tribe, nursing old grudges, have wiped them out? The lack of bodies or signs of a battle makes this less likely, but not impossible. The Spanish are another suspect. They saw the English colony as a threat to their shipping routes and had a history of brutally destroying rival settlements. However, Spanish records from the time show they searched for the Roanoke colony but never found it. A more fringe theory suggests the colonists tried to sail back to England on their own in a small ship left behind, only to be lost at sea. And of course, there are the more fanciful ideas of disease, a devastating hurricane, or even supernatural explanations that have captured the public imagination. Perhaps the most likely scenario isn't a single event, but a combination. Maybe the colony split up. A small group might have gone to Croton Island, while another larger group attempted to move inland to their originally intended destination at Chesapeake Bay, only to meet a tragic end. The Zuniga map, a Spanish map from 1607, shows a fort symbol far inland from Roanoke, which some believe marks the final location of the lost colonists. Today, the mystery endures. Archaeologists continue to search for definitive proof, sifting through the soil of North Carolina for a piece of pottery, a rusted tool, anything that can tell us the final chapter of this story. The lost colony of Roanoke is more than just a historical puzzle. It's a human story of hope, survival, and a mystery that has been etched into the American landscape. It reminds us that even in well-documented history, some secrets remain lost to the winds of time. What do you think happened to them? Let me know your theory in the comments below. Thanks for journeying back in time with us. If you enjoyed this dive into history's great mysteries, please hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure. See you next time.